Hello and welcome to day 62 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. So let's begin here and find an opponent. Alright, so we have the white pieces. We're playing a 16-10. Let's start with e4 and see how they respond. Alright, the Caro-Kann. Okay, so I think I'll try this two knights system here and just see what they do next. Alright, now they're probably going to capture here, but what do I do? Okay, so they decide to pin. Well, what do we do about that? I'm still learning this two knights opening here, or two knights attack in the Caro-Kann. So do I attack him and force him to make a decision? Or do I capture here? No. Alright, we'll just go ahead and attack. See what he decides to do. Now, do I want to attack him again or not? Let's see. I mean, I could attack him, push him up here, and then go after that. Does that work? You know, is there a danger of this move? All right, let's just push forward. Since I'm not sure about this, I don't know, it looks risky. Oh, so now they have this attack just piling up there. Let's see. Well, maybe now we do that. And I guess this could let us check him with the bishop. And that's a possibility. All right, so now we can go ahead, play that check, and then we can jump up there and attack. But, you know, he could just attack our bishop, I guess. Well, then we could take, maybe go after this pawn. All right. Well, now we could knock out his bishop pair, I guess. So we do that. You know, he'll probably attack towards the center. Then our king side is kind of weak. Let's see. Is there something else we could do? I mean, do we just put more pressure on right here, but then he could go here and attack us? I don't know, maybe that would work. If we go there, what if he goes this way? Well then, I don't know, it's starting to look dangerous. If we bring our queen up here and just pile on this pawn, he could push the pawn forward. But then he's attacking this. So I don't know, kind of tricky. Trying to see if I really want to put this queen here. He could just push his pawn forward. Then if we capture here, the pawn just captures. Do we attack his queen? But then he could just move. If our knight captures that pawn, the queen could move in there. All right, so let's look at this. Queen to f3, lining up here. So queen to f3. If his bishop attacks us, we just capture and then get the pawn. But queen to f3, if he pushes, attacking our knight, then capture with check, pawn captures probably, knight attacks the queen. I don't know, I think it's probably best just to trade off material like that. And now develop, or do we push this pawn forward first? Because he could just, play this. All right, so we probably need to do that. And I don't know if that was the best move. Maybe it was better to immediately bring our queen out. All right. So now this knight is jumping up here. Now we probably want to develop this queen. Or do we just go after this? Probably the queen first. Something like that. I don't know. It's looking tricky. So what will they do? Probably push. Well, where are they going to put their king at? We probably need to figure out a way to open up the center. Maybe develop this bishop here, something like that. Or do we just develop the bishop here? Okay, well, now we can pin that, but then he'll just develop that. All right, so, should we, no, I was going to say if we push that pawn, probably develop here, he'll just develop his bishop there to break that pin. So, if we go there, he'll go here, and then his bishop is more passive. Well, wasting time. We'll just go ahead. That at least develops that. Pinning that knight. All right. What now? What now? You know, I have this unprotected pawn here, so he'll probably, you know, at some point he'll attack my bishop, and then I kind of have to capture here. And, you know, do I want a castle over here? Because if, you know, if I capture his knight, he recaptures with the pawn, you know, or the rook. I'm going to have some kind of openings on the queen side that I'm going to have to watch out for, because yeah, I don't know if this bishop was placed in the best spot here or not. I mean, it pins the knight, but I don't know. And I guess if I castle queenside, this pawn will be protected. But it's looking like at some point he's going to attack my bishop, and I'm okay, so now he's doing that. All right, well, I guess I could go ahead and attack him. So go ahead and attack probably is what we want to do. If he captures, we can capture. He won't be able to, well, we'll just go ahead and capture. Now, do I capture with the queen? Do I capture with the queen or not? Or with the pawn and fortify? But then that'll be a weakness, these doubled pawns. Well, I'm going with the queen. Now he'll probably just attack my bishop. He could even attack my queen with this knight. Does that work? Knight to e4 attacking my queen. If I take his queen, he'll take my queen. Then if I capture, you know, he's thinking about that now, I guess. Alright, so if the knight jumps down to e4, attacking my queen, do I ignore it and just... Okay, so now we have that move. Alright. That is interesting. Interesting. Okay. Do I capture here? He captures. Then I'm forced to do something about this. Or if I capture here and his queen captures, I don't know, then I really got to watch out. Do I go here and guard? Maybe. Oh, this knight is threatening over here, though. All right, I guess we're knocking that out. Now I got to watch for time. Now I'm behind on time by 4 minutes, man. Okay, so they ignored that. Now what? Do I just protect? Could just move here and protect. Oh, I don't know if that works because okay, now maybe well, I have to cover this. My D pawn is from his queen. My bishop is under attack, though. So what do I do? Do I just back it up here? Maybe that's the plan. Just back that piece up. But then if he castles over here, would he even do that? He might. He could castle over there. And then what? Okay, he's got a threat on this pawn and my bishop. So if I back up, he could just castle. Then I'm forced to capture here. Or do I just move over? I don't know. It is not looking the greatest here. If I capture, all right. Do I move up here and just attack his... Oh, I could go there. It doesn't... I don't know if... I mean, that might work. Prevent him from castling. We'll try that move. That prevents him from castling, protects my pawn and my bishop. If he captures, then if he moves over here, I can just go ahead and attack him again with this pawn. He'll probably capture, but then that gives me this strong pawn up here. If I push the other pawn, to here to protect, bring this one up, that's not too bad. But then he'll have these strong pawns here. Well, either way, we're going to have an interesting end game. So I don't think he was expecting that move. So what will he do now? He can't castle. If he takes my queen, I'm okay with that. It pulls this up here. His knight is still pinned. Then I can push this pawn up to protect. Try to push this other pawn up. Maybe I need to do that first and then push this up, because he could try and push forward with this pawn if my D pawn ends up here on C5. So I don't know. That's what I think he's going to do, is just capture my queen. And then, then I have to capture. Now, will he just attack my bishop? Probably attack my bishop. Well, if he does that, I could just back up. Then if he attacks again, I can capture en passant, and it'll still be pinned. All right. Well, what is best? Do I take that knight out or not? If the knight goes here, probably want to do something about that. So maybe push this up here. I don't know. Maybe I want to knock that knight out of there. The position's going to be kind of closed up here, so let's just go ahead and get rid of that. If his rook captures, then I will go ahead and have to play b4. I want to get this c pawn up here, which, okay, so now I have to do that. All right. All right, so now we should just go ahead and capture there. Unless there's anything better to be done. So we go ahead and pick that off. All right. Now Well, I need to centralize my king for sure. So, have to protect that. So, I pretty much have to do that. And now what do we do? I mean, my one advantage is trying to get a passed pawn over here. He could go ahead and double his rooks up. And then what do I do? Okay, so he stopped me over there. Do I push this forward? Do I push forward already and attack there? Or do I push this up? All right. Or do I push this pawn forward? Okay, let's bring this up. All right. Do I go there? It's not looking good. Not looking good. Do I attack? Let's see. Huh. All right. Now I got to watch out I don't run out of time here. So. All right. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. What now? What now? All right, sorry, I haven't been talking. I'm like so focused on this, trying not to run out of time. Uh, let's see here. All right, I guess I should go there and try and block his king off from being able to help. Now, he could try and move his king down here maybe, and then bring his rook over. I need to get this pawn moving. Definitely need to get that pawn moving. His king is cut off, but he could swing over with a check. Then what? I just go up. Another tense rook endgame here. It's starting to get dark in here. Probably need to turn a light on. All right. And I got 1:41, so I got a little more time. What should he be trying to do? He could just swing down here, get behind the pawn. Then what do I do? Then I have to move my king up in front of the pawn. All right, so he did what I thought. He just swings over. Now, if I go there, all right. What is the best way to do this? I guess I should just push that pawn. You know, if he checks me, I move. If he goes after it with the rook, I protect it with the king. All right, so if he okay, so he decides to do that. All right, now what would be good now? Probably have to keep moving my king up. Do I move to the center? Just go there. Ooh, pretty crazy here. Pretty crazy. All right, now the decision. Do I just keep pushing that pawn forward? Or do I go after these pawns? He could just, okay. Well, let's push forward. All right, now what? Just do that. The danger is him getting those pawns pushed forward. Okay, well now I can just go ahead. If I go there, or do I just go there immediately? I don't know. It still might be a draw because those three pawns are really powerful. The one thing I could have is what if I do that, checking his king. He moves here, I swing over, but then he can go down here and protect. I need to get my king into the game. So once he gets here, I don't know, I might not be able to stop his pawns because my king is too far away. I don't know. This is not looking good. Not looking too good. Now he just pushes this one. Ooh, might have saved myself because my king blocking his king. So now I pick this one off. Uh-oh, maybe not. He goes there. Now I go here. Whew. That was a close one. Man, this is a tough one. So now, he can protect the pawn. I'll probably have to give up my rook for his pawn. But, when his king is down here, I don't know. Will my king be able to get over in time? That's going to be the question. Uh-oh, I have to be careful here. If I go there, need to go after that pawn. Well, it's going to be a draw. All right, a draw. Ooh, that was a long, hard draw, I guess, in the end, especially. Okay, well, let's see here. We'll do a game review. So I played at 83.5 versus their 84.6. They were definitely winning there. Oh my gosh. So they were winning the game at some point. We'll have to see what that was. And then I was ahead with a pretty good advantage, so I missed something there earlier in the game. Anyway, we'll take a look at all that. So I had 6 great moves. They had 5 inaccuracies. I had 5. They had 3 mistakes. I had 4. They had 6. I had 2 misses. And they had 1. Says the game ended evenly, but you had some nice moves in there. All right. So, yeah, I think I misplayed that opening for sure. All right, so let's see here. As usual, it's just blasting through everything. Okay, I don't know if this was a great move. It's the only move that protects that pawn. So then they attack. Now, it didn't like this move, and here I wasn't sure what to do. I thought he was just going to double up rooks, and then I would have to protect this pawn. Then he would move here and try and, yeah, I don't know. I think he had an advantage. I didn't play the rooks, the rook ending as good as I should have. All right. So it liked that move. And that. But I don't think there's anything too great about those. Okay, that was a mistake. What should we have done there? We should have moved our king over to here. Why? Why should we do that? Do we want to try and move our king up towards the center here? You know, but then his king could move over and block this pawn. So I don't know if I like that, but we'll look at it in the analysis. And there, it didn't like that. So once again, and this move, I actually thought about this, trying to go here. But I thought, well, his king could just move up here and attack me, and then what do I do? Maybe I go back here, but oh, maybe that works. If he picks me off, I have to capture here. Then his king has to move up here. I go back here. I would be able to march this pawn up. Anyway, more to look at in the analysis, and it didn't like us promoting there. If we if we did that, and he goes there, well, more stuff to look at in the analysis. All right, king to c7. You only had one good option there. You permitted the opponent to push a passed pawn. So best would have been the check, but then he would just go down in here. But then I guess we could pin this pawn, but then he could start moving that one. Yeah, at this point he was winning with all these pawns here. All right. So that move was the mistake. Best would have been, yes, to bring his king in to help these pawns. You know, and then he could go here and attack this pawn, swing around here, and, you know, get in front of his pawn and help push one of these forward. Yeah, so I probably should have lost that game. A little bit of crazy checks on his king. It was the only thing that saved me. All right, so it ended in a draw. It says the game ended in a draw by insufficient material because neither player has enough pieces to ever force their opponent to checkmate. Okay, so it says you had a pretty competitive game there. Your opponent played better than you in the opening. It was an incredible middle game by both of you, and you both battled pretty evenly in the end game. So I played at 1850 and they played at 1900. So 92.9 in the opening versus their 97.5. Yeah, so I still don't have that two knights attack in the Caro-Kann down. I have to work on that. So middle game, 96.8 versus their 99.7. Yeah. I don't know. Like, how do people get these crazy, super accurate scores like that? Mine was kind of high too, so I don't know. Um, 78.3 versus 78.5. Okay. Well, let's look at the analysis and see what we can learn from this game. So the opening, the Caro-Kann defense here. So I used to just play d4, take control of the center with your pawns, but I was trying to change it up with this two knights variation of the Caro-Kann. So they just continue here and you bring both your knights out. Now, they could push forward, but that's usually not a good idea because what do? If they push this pawn forward, then I believe you just retreat your knight. Then both of your knights are attacking that pawn. Do they go forward here? Then you just capture their center pawn with your c pawn. And then your knight can just jump back out of there and protect this pawn if the queen recaptures. So anyway, it's usually not good to push that pawn. The computer says the best move is developing your knight and attacking here. But then you can push forward and counterattack their knight. E6, just fortifying. And then the third best move is just to capture the pawn. But instead, they play this move. And it looks like here, the best thing is d4. All right, yeah, that's probably what I should have played. I did not think about that move. But d4, that kind of stops things in the center. Although, I don't know about that. Let's see. If they capture here, then I capture. Then they capture here. I'm going to have to double my pawns up, or else I would give up the pawn here, because if the queen captures, then his queen could come down and pick this pawn off. So let's go back. d4. What else do they recommend? Bishop to e2. Maybe that's a better move. Bishop to e2. But yeah, I don't know. Bishop to e2 seems like a good move. h3 was the third best move. So h3. Now their best move is just to capture, and then my queen would recapture. And then they could jump up here, developing their knight. Okay, so he retreats. Now, once again, d4. It's showing d4. As the best move. But in the game, I played g4, attacking. So he retreats, of course. And then here, looks like the best thing to do is to capture in the center, which is what I did. So capture. Then they capture. Now, bishop to b5. I think that's what I played, and it says that's good. That's, an even, but the best move is h4 to threaten to just trap this bishop. What about immediately jumping up here, going after the bishop as well? Should we try that? I'm gonna have to check this out in an opening book and see what is best here. All right, bishop to b5, attacking. It says that's an inaccuracy, that knight to e5 was best. So, they want me to immediately go there. Now the recommendation is just to develop a piece, and then d4. Well, then they could just capture and then pull my pawn over to here. d4 or bishop to b5, which I don't know, that's not bad. All right, but in the game I played bishop to b5 immediately, so they end up going there, and we kind of transpose into what we were just looking at. So now I go here. Is that best? h4. They want me to move here, threaten to pin his excuse me, threaten to trap the bishop, or well, force it to go here maybe, and then I capture. So h4. In the game we played that, and these are all still, well, this is a book move, I guess. Rook to c8, book move. Now d4. Is that what I played? No, I captured over here. So it looks like I should have just played d4. d4. Then they would have fortified with e6, or they could go here and attack my knight. Oof, excuse me. So e6, or the top recommended move is that, f6. Then, well, now they don't like that. They're saying e6 is better. Yeah, usually you don't want to move that f pawn. So if we get rid of that, delete that move, and just look at that. And once again, that's a book move. Here they recommend queen to e2, which lines up on the king, even though there's a pawn in the way. And then bishop to d6. And now, this is kind of interesting. They recommend you give up your bishop, and that they should capture either with the rook or with the rook. They said it looks like it's all right to capture with the rook, but you think you would do that. And then now they recommend h4, just threatening to trap. Bishop takes e5. Queen captures, and then you're attacking this, but the queen blocks. h5, capture here. Oh, and you give up this pawn, and then bishop to f4. Although it's saying bishop to e3 would have been better. Okay, so let's go back, delete that move. So they actually like that better. But now they're saying bishop to f4. Once again, the computer can't make up its mind. Now we have that. Rook to c1, attacking this bishop. Bishop to d3. And then king up to d2, attacking. bishop to e4 finally. Or a6, because I don't know, if you go the other way, does that give up a pawn? Yeah, because if you go here, the knight can capture the bishop. Well, they could just capture our queen first, I guess. Well, no. Yeah, I guess that works. No, let me see. Bishop to e4. You know, our knight captures. They could go after the queen, you know, and then we'd have to recapture, and then they capture. Okay. And it's just a mess. All right, well, I definitely got to look at that in the opening book. So, right now, knight captures. They capture towards the center, which is best. Finally, I played d4, and it says it's the best move. Knight develops. Queen develops up here, but they said I had a better move. Just moving my king over would have been better. King to f1. Why? I mean, I guess then the knight doesn't get pinned by their bishop. So they move here because I'm piling up on with the knight and the queen on this. Well, they want to get their bishop out is more likely. So now we go here. It says that's the best move. They pin me, but it looks like the queen developing. They like that even better. So I attack. They capture. Now here, it looks like queen capture is best, but at this point, black is ahead. So now he piles up pressure here. And it looks like the best move was to immediately capture. Okay, so I found that move, which it says is best. Their best response is to capture there. And then now bishop to a4 is the best move. Queen to c5, that's not even in the top three. So they recommend bishop to a4. Just, you know, dropping the bishop back. Oh, which, yeah, okay, that would have been the best move because they can't capture here because the knight's pinned. If the queen captures, then I can just capture. All right. Yeah, bishop to a4 would have been a better move than what I played. It says this is still good, but now black's ahead by 1. So they capture, which is best. I capture. King to e7, which is best. So I take here. Let's see. The other option was to castle queenside, which I thought about that, but I don't know. I didn't want to let that knight, you know, be able to jump down into the position. And it says rook to h4 is one of the best moves. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. If they go here and double up the rooks on the h-file and then try and jump their knight in here and pick this off, you know, then I can't capture because they'll recapture. All right, so in the game, I pick off that knight so I don't have to worry about it. Their best move is capturing with the rook. Now b4, of course, to protect this pawn. And they push here to attack, forcing me to capture. They recapture. So now they've opened up a file for the rook. The computer actually wanted this move, you know, capturing with the rook instead. So I move up here and it likes that, saying that's the best. And now rook to c4. I thought maybe he would just double up rooks immediately. It looks like that is also a good move. What did he play? He pushed this, an inaccuracy. Well, that does stop my pawns over here, and stops this pawn from moving up. Okay, didn't like that. Well, let's look at the inaccuracy first. What did they recommend here? Rook to c4. All right. And then what would I play? They want c3 here. Then f5. Looks like I should ignore that move. Well, now they're saying e5 would have been even better. Yeah, they just have these strong pawns in the center that they need to start moving up. Let's look at e5. Yeah, now it's saying e5 is best. So let me get rid of that f5 move. So e5. And then here, a4. We should start pushing, trying to get an outside passed pawn here. d4. Capture. Man, this is best because now they can capture here. Well, I guess I can go up here and protect that. But that's not the best move. The best move is to just let that pawn fall and go over here. I mean, if I go here, the other rook, oh man, yeah, it's bad. The rooks would start checking me. So that is the best move. And then, of course, they would go after that. And then, man, now they recommend that. Okay, well, I guess you can pick this off. So if they capture here, which is recommended, then you capture, then they capture over here, you capture here, they go here behind the passed pawn, which is important. Then we protect the pawn, check, king up to e3, f5, capture, capture. Now they recommend f4. Man. But they have e4 and they get a passed pawn, but they recommend this. Because now if you go here, then what? e4, they start marching forward. a5, so you got to get counterplay by start pushing your passed pawn. Rook to a1, king to f2, check, king to e1, rook to a3, king up to e2. Anyway, it's saying it's about even here. Black is slightly ahead, with this passed pawn here. And they have 3 pawns versus 2, but these are doubled. So, man, tricky rook endgames. Okay, so back to the game. We have that. They push this to stop my pawns. It doesn't like that move. It says instead I should... Let's see. Here, instead of moving my rook, it wants c3 immediately. And then you have, what, rook to d8 or c8. If they double up over there, then I have to bring my other rook over. But, I don't know, it's saying the game is in black's favor. Okay. In the game, I go there. They push forward, stopping my pawns. I move up here, but now it's saying I should have just moved back to A1. We have D4. Doesn't like that move. Saying that rook at H to C8 would have been better. Just double up the rooks. And then rook to C1. Rook to C4. What? Now they want rook to D3. Oh, that way if they push their E pawn, you can pick off the other pawn. All right, so D4. Then they want you to get this out of there. Then D6. King to D6. Okay, let me get this moving. You know, the video is going to drag on forever. These end games are kind of complicated. So D4, we play C3. Now they want us to give up this pawn, you know, and move over here. So capture, which is best. Rook captures. Now they check us. And it's saying that is not the best move. That was an inaccuracy. It would have been better to capture, then we capture, then start pushing your pawns with F5. And then, of course, we're going to capture. Rook to E1 check to activate your rook. King moves here. Rook to E3. Then you have G4. H takes G4. F takes. You've undoubled your rooks or your pawns. King to D4. So now they want you to move up here and grab the opposition. F6 to help keep the king out. We go here, attacking that. Rook to C8. So I guess you try and get in behind the pawns. Rook to F4. Oh, now they want you to move back here. Oh, because, well, there's this. All right, anyway. So, check. I move. Oh, it says I should have blocked that one instead. So now they're able to double up. So now I have to capture. They capture with check. King to B3 is the best move. Did I do that? Okay, I did. They don't like that. Oh, I could have pushed the pawn here and been ahead. I missed that. A simple maneuver here. I should have just pushed that pawn. Then I would have doubled pawns, I guess, or a passed pawn. So here, what should they have done? Rook over to here, you know, where you threaten this fork. Well, this pawn is protected at the moment, but you know, you're threatening to attack, and you can move down here and go after this, I guess. Okay, so that is what they should have done. Then I should have pushed A4. But then they have this, D3 check, king attacks. Oh, that gives you time. So when they go here, now you can capture. Then they could capture this if they want to. But it recommends king to d7 to get over here and stop these passed pawns. Now, h4, capture, rook captures, capture with check, king up to b3, try and help your pawns. All right, so in the game, they went here. Now it's saying that I had a miss. I should have played a4 because then what do they do? Rook to c7. I should capture. They swing over here. And now, let's see, gives us time to move our rook. Although now they're saying they want this move. Capture, check, king moves into the center, but that allows you to pick off a pawn. Okay, they do this. We capture, capture. So now we're ahead a pawn. All right, so I overlooked that. I missed an opportunity here. So at this point, I just went there and I should have pushed that pawn. They attack here. I protect. They capture. I push that, which is the best move. So now I have a passed pawn. They start moving their pawns. Better would have been to immediately get behind the passed pawn and start pushing it. All right, so the king moves over. I cut the king off, but what they wanted was what? King to a5, and then rook to f1, rook to d3 check, king up to c8, b6, e5, king to a6, rook to a1 check, there, attack. I don't know. This is a draw, but it's looking pretty scary. I mean, I guess you have this check. Oh, and then you move there. Check. And they want you to go there. I mean, e6, I would probably do that. And then now we have this moving up. Check. King to a6 or c6. Well, this lets you get in the middle. Now we have f5, rook to c8, check, king to b5, rook to b1, the only good move that works is to go back to there. And then they have to check you. Well, they don't have to, but then you have to move back to here. And if they try something else, well, this pawn is going to be pushed forward. So you have to keep checking. And if we try that, then they just push forward. And then we have rook. I don't know. Then looks like black is winning then. All right, in the game, rook to c3. They drop their rook all the way back to harass me, get behind the passed pawn. Here, oh wait, let's see, what did it want me to do there? Instead of pushing that, it wanted king to a5. Just move my king up. So king to a5, so that's the best move. Then they would play rook to b1, getting behind the passed pawn. But black still has an advantage here. All right, so in the game, I push the pawn. And here, they should have played rook to b1, getting behind the pawn immediately. This is what it looks like. Rook to b1. Rook to c7 check. Oh, now they don't like that. They said that's a mistake. Come on. They want this move to protect the passed pawn. But then the only move that works for black is to start pushing their pawns with f4. Then we have rook to e3. King moves up, getting ready to push the other pawn, but now they said we could push the f pawn. Okay, I'm going to finish this out now, finally. They push that. I move king up to a5, but the best move is king to b4, it says. Well, now it says king to b5, so which keeps his, well, his king's not doing anything anyway. So something like that. But I played a5. They get behind the pawn. I move up here. Better would have been what? Well, now they're saying king to a6. So I move up, or rook to c5. Keeping an eye on these pawns. Okay. They don't like that. What do they want instead? f4. They want the f pawn to move. You know, and then they're really ahead here. b7. All right, so now it's saying b7, but black is pretty much winning. So in the game, we have this move. b7 was played, but instead they want rook to c5, lining up on all these pawns. So if I did that, you know, he could just go here. Yeah, king to d6, and then what do I do? Go there. Oh, okay, I think we talked about this while I was looking at the game review. All right, rook to a1, check. What, rook to a5 now? Rook to a5. Rook to b1. Rook to b5. Now rook to, anyway, they're just going to go back and forth. The computer sometimes has trouble in endgames trying to calculate stuff out. So that was a miss. So instead, here they should have played f4 immediately. Or even e4. Start pushing these pawns. So they attack. I move over here. Attack. King up to a7, which is best. Now f4, which is best. And then b8, queen. It doesn't, well, yeah, it says to go ahead and promote, which is the best move. Although now it's saying rook to d3. So I guess we could look at that. Rook to d3. But now the king just jumps into here. So what did that really achieve? Not much. I mean, well, we just check. Then they go here. Rook to d3, king to e4, rook to d8, f3, we promote, but now they're winning because they capture, our king captures, and our king is just too far away because you have f2. We have to get behind the passed pawn, but the king can escort it in. All right, so in the game, we promoted, and they captured. We capture. They should have pushed their pawns immediately there. So e4. And now they recommend h4 as our best move. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. h4. Well, now it's saying that's an inaccuracy. Rook to c4 would have been better. Okay. Well, in the game, what happened? After king to e6, I move forward. It doesn't like that. It wants rook to c6 here. So that move. But then what? They just jump down here. I remember thinking about this possibility. And then the king escorts these pawns in, because what do? We go here. Now it doesn't like that. It wants the rook to move up here where it can harass the king, but the king will just jump in here and like try and help these pawns. Well, I don't know. Let's go back, get rid of that move, delete that move, and look at rook to c8. Okay, now e4 wins. Rook to e8, f3. Yeah, see, there's no way to stop both of these pawns. King just moves up and gets ready to escort them in. Yeah, if the rook checks, then the king just moves down here and this one starts going. All right, back to the finale here. Okay, he pushes forward. Our king moves up. It doesn't like that move. It says rook check would have been better. So, we're trying to hang in here. This was a mistake that makes the game even. So king, it's saying king to f5 would have been better. And then our king would jump in here to d5. Anyway, whatever we do here, we would be losing. So they played f3. Rook to c3 is best. They start pushing. We pick. Actually, we don't pick that off. We have to check him onto this file here. King goes there. We check. He attacks, but that gives us time to retreat. And he moves forward. We check. Actually, I think I brought my king in closer. Yeah, king to d5. Trying to get my king into the game. So, he promotes. Now we're forced to check. King moves. And we capture. They capture. So now it'll just end up being a draw. All right. Well, a long end game there. Thanks for watching. If you watched the entire video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new to this channel. Also, feel free to leave comments, suggestions, any requests if there's something you really want to see in future videos. All right. Well, thank you for watching and have a super chess day.